Hi there, Zizaran here, and I wanted to make a quick video talking about the launch day of Ultimatum and pretty much everything surrounding it and just a little bit of information. So there's been a lot of bad things happening. Obviously there was an insane amount of server problems and nobody's happy with that obviously. And on top of that, there was a lot of drama surrounding streamers. So I want to talk about it, explain the situation and address that in a little bit. So if you're wondering what happened, let's start at the beginning. I queued up 2 hours before, like I normally do, and like normally, I was around 1,000 in the queue, and when the service came up, this went very, very slowly. Normally, when people were asking during the queue, they were like, ooh, how long is this gonna take? And I was like, 1,000? That's like, it's 3,000 per minute sometimes. The queues are really fast. We'll get in instantly. But it actually even at 1,000 took like 10 or 20 minutes. And at this point, there's clearly no priority queue because it was so slow. So at this point, I keep playing like normal. I get in early, and a lot of people are like, oh my god, this queue is so bad. By the time I'm at like Fairgraves, people are saying, lol, streamers have priority. That's how you're playing. And I'm like, well, no, I got in legit, and I don't think they would do priority. They would get so much backlash for that. Of course they won't do that. That would be dumb as hell. And sure enough, I see a clip and I see other streamers getting in from 60,000 instantly. Now, obviously at this point, some people were like, do you want to log out in solidarity? And I'm like, well, no, I sourced my spot ethically. So at this point, I didn't have any interest of logging out because, I earned my spot at this point. Now, what happens next is that I crash and I log instantly back in. And first I'm thinking, is this streamer thing really real? And some people are saying that if you log back in instantly after crashing, you can get instantly back in. But a lot of my moderators confirm, no, that is not the case. I crashed and went to 100k in queue. So I messaged Grinding Gear Games instantly, and I go, is this thing real? Is streamer queue a thing? Please remove me from it. And they did. They replied and said, yes, we'll have you removed shortly. Then I went back in the queue, which obviously for the next foreseeable 17 hours was hell. Let's talk a little bit on why I did it and why I did it almost instantly. I'm personally not a big fan of rules for me, but not for thee. Or is it rules for thee, but not for me? I think it's important that shit like this, things are consistent. It goes back to a lot of what things like Chris said with, the economy is supposed to be equal for everybody. And if the difference is like normal, where, yeah, sure, like, if you're lucky and you queue early, you get in 10 minutes before other people, that's okay. And sure, you can argue that on solo self-fund, it doesn't matter that much, but on Trade League, it's a huge economic advantage being able to bypass queues and not being stuck. It's very large. If you're early and fast to maps, you can make just an insane amount of gear. And when I usually do play solo self-fund, but the times that I have been playing Trade League, if you're wondering how important it is, well, the gear that I'm able to buy on day one, which, early on goes for Chaos Orbs, you're trading with other people for other gear. People are just, striving quickly to get what they want. That could end up with being, what a week later is worth like 50 exalts. So it's a very, very important thing for people like me that can know life to get very fast and get very far early. So I fully understand why people are upset, and I don't think anyone should downplay that. People have a large reason to be upset. And something that's important to note here, that at least for my part, I was never consulted with this. I was never asked, do you want streamer priority queue? And even notified like, hey, you do have streamer priority queue. So in the start, I didn't even believe that it was real. I think it's not a good decision. That being said as well, I do have pretty good contact with GDD, so it's very easy for me to remove it. And it might not have been as easy for other streamers to remove it as easily. For me, it's just a Discord message away. So try not to go too hard on other streamers that might have wanted it removed, but wasn't able to do so early. As far as people not wanting it removed, and obviously there's been some drama with people's decisions around the thing. Again, I try to mostly care about myself, and I don't want to drag other people. We're human, we all make mistakes, and I've done loads. I probably will in the future too, so no interest in dragging people. Shit happens, move on. So there's a few extra reasons for why I'm really, really upset with this. First of all, I care a lot about what people think about me. That's always been something I've struggled with and something that is important to me. And a very large problem with this is it's really, really bad long term, and it's really, really bad perception wise. Even though I pretty much instantly asked to be removed from the streamer queue, the literal rest of my day was people coming in that weren't aware of things like that, going in like, oh, must be nice with the streamer queue. Ooh, must be nice to instantly play. And I had to constantly defend myself from stuff like that, even though, you know, I felt like I did what was the best decision for me. And not everybody follows streaming closely, so they might just read the Reddit article and lash out and be angry, which I totally understand why people are angry. This obviously causes a lot of issues for me because I don't like comments like that. And it causes a way larger issue with, you know, on my desktop, I have like loads of fun different, I have like 6 different Path of Exile clients that all lead to the same client, but, you know, it's always been a fun thing for me. PoE Alpha, PoE 2 Alpha, PoE 3 Alpha, streamer client, easy 6 things, steal mages RNG, or kill Quinn's character. Which, you know, in the past has been very fun, but now that sort of gives people more ammunition. Like, well, if GGG does give streamers priority to the queue, what else do they give them? Do they give them increased loot drop rates? I would like to say, no, of course we don't have increased drops. But, you know, why are people going to believe me? And this causes a big problem for the future, in my opinion. So I think it sets a really, really bad precedent. This has already been addressed by Grinding Gear Games. They said that they were doing a huge marketing push with hiring a lot of streamers to do paid streams for 2 hours. And obviously by this they mean like they hired a lot of streamers like Shroud and a lot of streamers that might not have normally wanted to play the game, but they wanted to give the game more exposure. And this is a large amount of money and they didn't want to light that on fire. So I do sort of see what Grinding Gear Games was doing, but if anything, it probably would have made more sense to give those variety streamers and stuff trying out the game priority, because they're probably just going to play a few hours and then quit, and that doesn't affect the economy in any way. And giving the core streamers that do play, that does affect the economy and does affect a lot of other things, and they are going to continue playing. Now, obviously, a lot of these decisions were made in haste. They were probably not thought out very well, and people make mistakes. I think they did address it very well. Obviously, an important thing to remember, it's not like GGD wanted the servers to be shit. It's not like GGD wanted all these problems to happen. This is gonna like cost them a lot monetarily and like image-wise. The situation was obviously not handled well, but what do? Shit happens. Now that we are able to play, I hope you guys are enjoying the Ultimatum League, and yeah, drop by my stream if you want to chat, talk about it, anything like that, and would love to hear your guys' comments on it. So, thanks for watching. Hope you guys do have an okay league now that the problems are mostly fixed, and thanks for watching. More importantly, try to disconnect less than I do.